Right, welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is the Divine Force. Last time I think we conquered almost every path of the Scorpion network, and the one person we couldn't find along the way was Raymond, which I theorized around the beginning of the last episode that he might be where Bohld'or is. Maybe he even is using him as a hostage for this entire situation. So what did we do last time? We did every path along the Scorpion network with only one left. And that's the one in front of us. In between the episodes, I managed to finish off my grinding accessories. And as you can see on the HP of Laeticia, they work pretty well. So let's continue on and see what lies ahead. Raymond.
Laeticia, are you and everyone all right?
That's it? I thought it was going to be a little bit more intricate than that. I really thought he was with Bohld'or, and in that case, not trapped, but maybe held hostage. Oh well, let him come with us. We're ready.
Precisely, Your Majesty. On our homeworld, many use this power to overcome their sickness and ailments. Soon we may overcome the frailty of age itself.
Yet still, you were forced to flee here from your land, yes?
Only by those who seek to use Scorpia might for their wicked schemes. Consider, if you would, that there are countless worlds beyond this one with the same power we command. Should the peoples of these worlds move on your own, the Vey'l Empire will be helpless to hold them at bay.
Another memory. Another way to move forward. This was the same place that we had our last memory at the last path, wasn't it? Does that mean there's another boss fight for us waiting? Well, let's be honest, there was always a good chance of him being here. Because if Alliance was here, Gaston should be there to follow as well. And he's of course, just like him, fully fused and connected to the network, but not quite himself. Yeah, and with the little bit extra grinding I did, he is no longer a threat. Another path lays before us. Oh, in case you're wondering, what gear?
Bohld'or himself will be up ahead here. You sure you're ready for this, Laeticia?
Oh yeah, I'm more than ready.
Never have I been more. Come now, let us put an end to this.
But yes, in case you're wondering what I have done to make my grinding gear, I had to say, in this game, synthesis, crafting, compounding has been made really easily, and that has made it very easy to create gear. Just use your three basic materials, iron, gold, and that kind of stuff that you can easily get at stores anywhere in the world, and just craft until you get the factors you want. And in the end, what kind of equipment you're gonna get for it? If you combine everything, let's see if I can. It should be here somewhere. I don't think someone is wearing it. They are, which is fine. You get like an armor with 4 times accessory factor effect, which increases the effect you have on your accessories. And of course the accessories that I've made is the tenacity charm, which will grant us extra battle experience. And of course one as well. This one gave me a little bit of trouble with getting the fourth one active as well, but it wasn't even necessary. As an addition to that, I have an item drop rate that will give us more items like meteorites and that kind of stuff that will help us craft even better stuff as well. And of course, if we already maxed them out, we'll get more money for it in the process. That together made for the perfect grinding gear for me to move on ahead. But I think Laeticia is... who is wearing it? It looks like Elena is wearing it. You know what? You can keep it. I don't think you actually need it. For some extra defense, that's fine. Alright. Are we ready to face Bohld'or? I think we are more than ready for it. I think these levels are more for the post-game content. So for now, let's enjoy the eradication of Bohld'or and all of its forms. But in short, I did overlevel way too much for this. But it was so easy.
Certain you would come.
Bohld'or.
Bohld'or. You've lost yourself in your twisted dreams of what the Scorpion might offer you. Take a good hard look at yourself now. Do you still see one of the humanoids you wanted to save?
Humanoid? Of course not. The power the Scorpion possess is divine. In joining them, I am now closer to a god than mortal.
Our kind and the Scorpion are but life by different forms. None of us living can claim ourselves gods.
And there is no need for any of you to be. My only desire is for you to join us and live your lives in a whole new world, one free of sickness and conflict. As Emperor of Vey'l, it is my duty to lead my people to peace. And in becoming the Scorpion's god, I can finally fulfill my duty.
Your current existence is no different from an android like myself. Constructed by humans, given life through technology, we will never be gods.
Listen to yourself. Are the gods of history not but man-made creations? Then surely you would agree that the most godlike among us now is either you or myself.
You're a paltry excuse for one. Man cloaks himself in knowledge and power taken from others and mistakes himself an idol. You are just one of many who litter the pages of our history.
Yes, correct. And even with all the technological advancements we've seen, your story is quite common.
History itself will determine my divine status. Once the whole universe is one with the Scorpion, we shall be omnipotent. We shall become God.
Well, it'll be impossible for you to become one, since we're here to make sure that never happens.
The universe needs not such a deity. If there is anything divine in this world, it is but the flame of life inside of all of us.
Mortal life has always feared the unknown. A fear of the divine is only natural.
Yet fear you will not find in us, nor a thought spared for the desecration you speak of.
Many times since my youth, I have offered up my prayers. Yet though I called to God for help, it was never but by the hands of man that I was saved. If a true god were to be born here today, mankind would surely lose their essence. So you will understand why I must stop you.
We're not going to get anywhere arguing about this. Are we, Bohld'or?
At last, a sentiment I find agreement with.
As mortals, We stand more powerful than the god you claim to be.
That is so true.
Princess Laeticia, it is precisely that fiery spirit of yours which Scorpium so desperately needs. Join me, my new daughter.
Detecting incoming attack.
Alright, let's get ready.
Time has come for you to learn your place. Behold, the infinite power of a god!
Damn, that's a nice looking extra armor upgrade. It's not gonna help you though. Come on, we should be able to do this.
There was never an embracing before, neither for integration nor assimilation, any more than one of countless possibilities.
You approach them to find those suited to join us.
Alright, let's see how much vetting does.
Correct. I have determined the need for change in Scorpium ideology is necessary.
If we manage to hit him, that is.
Evolution of thought, rather than feeling.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage. I did upgrade it to level 10 with all the extra levels I gained.
It's not like we can just wield sheer will like a sword and stab him.
A battle in this digital realm essentially equates to the use of data traffic to overwhelm your opponent. For organic life forms like yourselves, it may be best to think of this as what you call willpower or resolve.
Come on. Defreeze. Come on. Thaw out. Thank you very much.
This cannot be! A god cannot be best! Think yourself stronger than a god!
Only one form? Really? Come on, show me more. You can be more than this.
Preposterous! What could you lowly mortals ever hope to do? With my power as a god, I could bring endless bliss to all life in this world, to all life in the universe. With such power, I will not, must not be beat.
You are Bohld'or Vey'l. Man, not god.
I am.
How could one possibly know happiness in a world without sorrow to temper it? A world forged from single-minded devotion is ultimately the same as one empty of all.
No, stop that. Stare not at me with those eyes, mortal.
Bohld'or.
I will not be eradicated. I cannot be. I alone am destined to be your new god and leader.
Behind me, now.
Enough. No more of this. I will not be defeated here. I refuse.
What's going on?
Bohld'or's will endures and refuses to be erased. Should he continue to resist in this way, this virtual realm will be obliterated with all in it.
Bohld'or, cease this at once! The battle is over!
Words are useless. I will do what is needed.
Please, no! My universe yet needs me!
He truly believes it, isn't it?
Here we part.
What?
No!
I am unable to maintain your consciousness in this space any longer. With what power I have left, I will see you returned safely.
But what's gonna happen to you?
You possess the potential to both understand the Scorpium and guide them to an enlightened future. Through you, may the seeds of all evolutionary paths for life be sown. I place my faith in you.
Understood.
He's making Elena a sovereign?
Laeticia,
Duma
our
is, isn't
journey
it?
Together was a valuable experience. If there are others with minds as open and accepting as yours, a peaceful coexistence with Scorpium will someday be possible. Thank you, Laeticia, for affirming this for me.
Duma!
So basically, do my sacrificing itself
My investigation
to defeat
is at
Bohld'or.
its end.
Bohld'or, finally back with his loving wife. Well, may he have peace that he didn't have in life.
Is it all over now?
Does look like it, doesn't it?
I am inclined to believe it only just begins.
I would agree.
Thank you, little Duma. We are to be a protectorate, then?
Well, that's the idea.
Yes. As I mentioned before, Aster IV's prolonged contact with more advanced civilizations categorized it as a protectorate of the Pangalactic Federation.
Are we to be subjected to surveillance by an ambassador?
No, nothing quite as direct as that. Aster will remain under observation to prevent any unnecessary interaction with advanced civilizations until it reaches a certain threshold.
Pretty imperious, aren't you? Was that not where the Federation's faults originally lie?
Guess some things are hard to change. And though it might not exactly be compensation, all of you who have been subject to intense intervention now have the option to travel to any Federation system to live or study.
Studying on a different planet. I must say, I don't hate the thought. Right?
Agreed. But I must refuse. I vowed to attend to tasks on this planet using mine own strength. I've had lesson enough as to the consequences of progression that was acquired through the power of others.
That's true. If I studied medical science at such an advanced level, I'm pretty sure I could save lives all across the universe. But first and foremost, I want to treat the suffering people of this world with my own hands and using our own techniques.
Our journey into the stars must be one born of our own volition. Only then will we find ourselves on equal ground with you and yours.
I see. You know, you're probably right.
But then, what would that mean for us? You spoke of some preservation pact? Does it forbid us from seeing one another again?
Well, I can't speak for Marielle, but Elena and I aren't bound by Federation laws. We can come and go whenever we want.
All things considered, I can probably visit again too, so long as you are the only ones I interact with.
Well, that's great. I think we can all live with that.
Yeah, I mean, if it were up to me, I'd set up a branch of Lawrence Logistics right here in Aucerius, and that would let us see as much or as little of each other as we could ever want.
Now is a time for restraint. Surely, the events here have opened your eyes to the importance of the Federation's underdeveloped planet preservation pact.
Yeah, I get it. But come on, you gotta at least see how hard that is on a personal level. Don't be so uptight.
I say this with respect to the positions of both Elena and Marielle. But, from my own view, I fail to find fault in Raymond's suggestion.
Wow, Albie. Can't say I expected that coming from you.
Spare me. I simply speak for us all.
I wonder if my ancestors also felt the same way long ago.
I'm sure they did.
Worry not. We have a tendency to be fine, after all.
You know, you're a lot more carefree now than you were before.
For that, I know who to thank.
Oh my, who could that be? Did we have someone irresponsible like that around?
Oh yes. At hand, I might say.
Oh yeah? Well... we both got jobs to do, right?
More than I care for, indeed.
If only some god would show up and free us all from the burdens of work life so we could just kick back and have fun.
Says the man bound to place his burdens on the shoulders of poor Chloe and Elena.
Hey, I've become crazy capable after all this. I'm sure they feel like they can just relax and enjoy the ride.
You are free to believe whatever you want.
Ray?
Are
Okay,
you that
let's
capable?
leave it at that.
Ray, this is the Aldous. We're now in geostationary orbit.
Copy that. Yep, best get going before this turns into another pick-on Ray fest.
It does seem about time.
This is Raymond for the Aldous. Commence transfer.
Until you meet again, somewhere in the future, I'm sure of it.
(583). An unprecedented crisis for the Pangalactic Federation was resolved with the cooperation of the planets Vergold and Aster IV. However, the corruption which plagued the highest levels of Federation leadership continues to leave its mark on the organization. Amidst growing calls from Federation captains, my grandfather, Emerson T. Kenny, was assigned as interim commander of the Federation fleet. A retired military man, he refused at first, but after much pushback, he took the reins to lead the Federation from its worst crisis yet. Through these troubled events, I've come to question the Federation's purpose in this galaxy, as well as my own function as one of its officers. But I choose to believe that its cause is still just. We must ensure a future of peace. Pangalactic Federation Lieutenant Mariel L. Kenny.
The events that unfolded spanned numerous star systems, though their sovereign was defeated. Remnants of the centralist Scorpium and their invasive measures still remained. Those among the Pangalactic Federation who aligned with the Scorpium cause were on the run, but still retained their influence. To combat both these foes, my partner Elena, armed with data saved from Duma's survey, helped us hit the Scorpium network from their own colony. Duma's experiences and noble ideology had a profound impact on the network, and saw the remaining Centralists quickly weakened. And while everything might still be far from wrapped up, it shouldn't be too long now until the Scorpium find themselves on the right track. My hope now is that the Pangalactic Federation might find its way too. Captain of the Lawrence logistics ship the Aldous, Raymond Lawrence.
It's a good ending. It is. Having defeated the Centralists by defeating Bohld'or as the sovereign of the Centralist Scorpion. But yeah, he was not developed enough to handle the power the Scorpion gave him. The power of a god went to his head, and that's how all of this happened. and we managed to defeat him and still be humble in the process. I like it. I really enjoyed this game. This is so much of an improvement in comparison to the last one. It definitely is. If I had to give it a number, I would say a solid 7.5 out of 10. Definitely. The game has its faults, but the story is really good. I really enjoyed it. Combat is nice. Targeting, it needs work. It really does, because the fact that you're targeting and fighting an enemy and suddenly you get the target on another enemy on the other side of the screen, that's not good. Companion AI, decent, not great. Enemy AI is actually pretty good. Side quest, pretty messy. Does not involve the main story at all. That's why eventually I just did it in the background. Overall, main story of the game, music, graphics, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so overall, really good game. Definitely something I would recommend to my friends to play if they are fans of the JRPG genre. It definitely is. And if I have to believe Tri-Ace, there is probably a post-dungeon for this game as well, which does not affect the main story at all, which is basically incredibly big dungeon with a few super bosses in it itself, which I would probably do for myself offline and not bore you with in a Let's Play. Which, let's say, it's gonna be really interesting to see, cause in the past there are a few Star Oceans where I've never been able to beat the post-game dungeon. Well, not Star Ocean, but basically Tri-Ace JRPGs, cause every Tri-Ace JRPG has the post-game dungeon with the same super bosses in every single game they do. That's why I say it doesn't really involve the game itself. It's just a challenge they always put after their games. So it'll be interesting to see if I'll manage to beat it on my own after the game. It's going to be really interesting to see. And of course, with the help of the comments, I have made the items necessary to see alternate endings of other characters. So definitely be doing that. And if you want to see it as well, there are plenty of videos on YouTube to see that. And with that, basically our series of Star Ocean Divine Force is over and done with, and I very much enjoyed it. I will probably still play it in the future again, but instead of making another Let's Play, I will probably do it on stream. And if we do that, we will pick Raymond as a path instead of Laeticia, so we can see the difference in the story itself, seeing it from a different perspective, from a different character. Might be interesting to see, and gives more of a reason to play it again. And I don't know if there's any cause for New Game Plus antics that the game has. We'll have to see once we are through the credits. But those will, if they are there, they will definitely be used when we're gonna stream the Raymond part of this on stream, which will probably be somewhere in the next half year or so. But yeah, definitely something I'm more than willing to do in the future. What are we gonna do for our next game? Well, we still have two running titles at the moment. Our main game and our secondary title, which you can enjoy if you so choose to. And once those are done, we'll pick another and we'll use the community tab to put up a poll with a few options on what we're gonna pick. So just watch out. Follow the series, and if I do ask for your help in picking one of 2 or 3 titles, if we're gonna pick a new one, just feel free to let me know which one you want to see or what kind of suggestion you have for another game. So for now, let us finish off the credits and let's see if there is an after credit scene left for us. Maybe a personal one for the one that we had our deepest bond with. Let's see. I did manage to talk the entire credits through. It's actually quite a nice accomplishment.
Our peace treaty with the Empire had been postponed indefinitely due to the Scorpium conflict. Yet today, discussions have concluded. I present the documents signed by Emperor Gerard.
Good news at last. And what news of my daughter?
Her Highness remained determined and performed her duties admirably. She did not back down before the Empire's new commanders. She also took great care not to say anything which may serve to undermine Emperor Gerard's position.
Is that so? No. Where might she be this moment?
Your Majesty, the princess...
She claimed herself tired and parted ways with us, asking we not follow. Your Majesty.
Well, not much we can do about that. Perhaps I was in too much a rush to abdicate. These are times of peace. I best stand strong for her till she is ready. Now, Bertrand, Lola, I would ask you look after my daughter and I for some time yet.
Sir.
I do like the fact that Lola has found her place here on this planet. Trusted by the top of the royal family. And of course Laeticia.
I am beyond exhausted. Oh, my shoulders ache. If only I could visit Nina. Maester Midas is always off somewhere. Albaird and Theo continue their rounds about the kingdom. Malkia and Marielle both find themselves working through their own great troubles. And I scarce get to see Ray, Elena, and Chloe. How I wish to see them.
For now, I'll have to do.
You prove more strict than Albaird himself.
Currently, Nina drains my pockets with her medical services for Colonel Valange. I cannot afford to lose this position. So excuse me if I take my work seriously. That being said, Princess Laeticia, His Majesty calls for you. Please make your way back to the royal city. There is much, much work that remains to be done.
Never a rest for princess, is there?
I am working quite diligently, I'll have you know.
I think the king is right. She might still be a little bit young to take over the throne, but he'll manage until she's ready. And there it is. Finn. The final. Of course, ooh. Am I hearing a bunny in the background? Interesting. Alright, let's save this over. With a star as an indicator that we finished our game. Alright, so I want to thank everyone that followed this series and managed to get to this point, even with me talking through the entirety of the credits. Thank you very much. Like I said, I really enjoyed this game. The story is really good. Overall score 7.5 out of 10. I think that's a solid score for a game like this, and it is a definitive improvement of the last Star Ocean. And I do hope that Tri-Ace gets to make more RPGs in the future, but we'll have to see how far it will get. So for now, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure to be back for one of our other series on the channels. And do check them out, and I will talk to you in the comments somewhere. Bye bye.